talk about it.
Yeah, we've seen a number of other defensive supports being picked up instead of the Dazzle. We've seen Bane as well as Shadow Demon being prioritized a little bit more than what we used to see, but I still really like Dazzle. I don't know, it's something about the... I mean, that's the thing, right? A lot of the heroes that are currently seen in the meta work really well with the minus armor and positive armor that you're able to get, whether it's going for early Roshan, starting that out, going for, I mean, Gyrocopter gets a huge benefit. You've got other heroes that output a lot of physical damage that are able to make use of the weave. Offlaner is going to be banned away by Danish Bears. They're going to take away the Clockwork as well as the Broodmother, while Kuro will opt to ban away both the Phantom Lancer and the Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain probably one of the other highly prioritized intelligence mids that's left in the pool, so I can understand that one. And we've also talked about the fact that Phantom Lancer, while he's countered by Gyrocopter in the early game, he can still very much be an out carry to Gyrocopter going late game.
Honestly, Gyro isn't a hero that you want as a 6-slotted carry, like late game. It's actually sort of inefficient if you think about it. What's really good about it is mainly just the fact that you get aggressive in the early game, and there's not a whole lot that people can do about it. Like, it's the way that Aggressive plays it, right? Where he rotates in really early game with his team to pressure the enemy safe lane and take down towers or rotate to the mid game. Like, that's actually a pretty easy way to do it. Mm-hmm. I just realized we had started and I was sitting down and you were standing up. You could have said something to me.
I've got a bajillion things. I've been here for hours, Blitz, trying to make sure that everything's good.
Looks like I'm
Our
like
IT guy has been here probably like since 8 a.m. or something.
You look like you were like 18 feet tall.
Blitz just strolls in like 15 minutes before the broadcast.
Do you see how
like,
dressed I am?
What's going on, guys?
I dressed up, Cap, you unprofessional.
I told you not to dress up.
But our dear leader, Toby, won.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Toby, for that.
Toby said dress up.
I'm sitting there on Skype, like, after being here for 2 hours, kind of making sure everything's good, everything's golden for the first production of the defense. And Blitz is like, I don't want to come in. Also, I'm going to dress up in a suit. And I'm like, no, don't dress up in a suit. I don't have a suit on.
You say I don't want to come in, but I came in a suit.
And he still did it anyway.
It's pretty hot now. I kind of regret this.
Yeah, you probably should.
Decisions. All right, we should talk about
You can take off the suit. It's not like we're on camera until the next game.
Yeah, but at any moment the equipment can break and only the camera works, and you got to look your finest. Or some guy robs us on air or something, and I got to be in a suit.
What?
I don't know, dude.
Wouldn't you want to be dressed down if somebody robs us? Because, like, if you're dressed fancy, you're naturally going to be the first target.
I mean, joke's on him. My bank account's locked down. All right, so
that credit card can't be used, etc.
Great stuff, Bank of America. All right, so we've got Lina, Gyrocopter, Darkseer. Darkseer is just a really good support against Dazzle. Disruptor is kind of good against Darkseer just because you can glimpse after the surge is done, but Dazzle doesn't really add anything for you. And 5Jungs or whatever, I'm not even gonna pronounce. I'm just gonna say
5 boys.
5 boys. Yeah.
That's their name.
Just a bunch of boys playing Dota 2.
5Jungs.
All right, they're gonna take a hero that I haven't seen since you actually had a decent haircut in Lion. What's up?
You're such an ass.
I haven't seen Lion in a while. It's been like a month.
10 seconds
It's like casted a game with Lion in it. But you've got 2 more picks on each side, or 1 more pick on each side. Storm's going to be banned out. It just makes sense. Well, not really, because they have an SF mid and they've got a Disruptor. I don't think they needed to ban Storm.
And they're also presuming that the Lina is then going to be a support, which is entirely possible. We've seen it time and time again that the first pick, Lina, will oftentimes go to the 4 position for teams that feel comfortable with it. It's just very valuable. But that being said, it could just as easily be a Lina mid.
I mean, I was told by Mind Control, he said, I requested Storm offlane. I hope I get it to show you who's the boss. So maybe Danish Bears know about that.
But they already have a Darkseer.
Yeah.
That's not a...
Well, that's the chat. You can read it.
Oh, Now you're just trying to show off. Now you're just trying. These players talk to me on a daily basis
dude,
about all their stuff.
I'm so proud that mind control is talking to me.
Wow, you just gonna play mind control like that,
dude? Right now, mind control is the Dota capitalist of Dota playing.
Oh my god,
he's no Toby or LZ.
You could just
but
leave.
He'll catch up to his more famous counterparts one day.
You go be all the best you can be. Mind control. I believe in you. All right, you're gonna go to TI. You're gonna win TI, and I'm gonna cast you being at TI. I'm gonna cast those finals, and then we're both gonna flip Blitz Dota off at the end.
Are they inviting you to cast the finals of the newbie stream this year?
Oh my god, kill yourself. Clinks is the last pick now for Danish Bears.
Do they need a backup for OD Pixel?
They've got. Oh my god, I'm gonna chuck the chair at you. Will you leave? We've got a physical damage strat from Danish Bears. A Desolator from the Clinks. Blitz is like wiping the tears out of his eyes.
I don't even want to cast Dota. I just want to flame cap. Like, that's my life right now.
That's because I made you come in.
Good stuff. If people were expecting the most serious cast of their lives, you were sadly mistaken. Yeah, this is not what this dealio is about right now.
Yeah, that's not what Blitz Dota is about.
The thing is, a cast has to be a good measure of fun and analysis, and when it comes to it, I will give you the analysis. But for now, we're just going to relax, take it easy, enjoy some good Dota, watch some 5Jungs. I'm sure I just said some like weird German curse word right now with my pronunciation.
I'm sure you did. What do you think about the last pick, Clinks? Like, I see a lot of physical damage, well-response, Shadow Fiend, his aura, Desolator, and then you've got Weave as well.
Yeah, it's...
minus armor across the board.
It's a really good combination, but... Clinks is just a hero that does well against the Darkseer, or relatively well against the Darkseer. Like, I played against the matchup before, it's pretty rough, but it's really their mid hero that's going to determine a lot, because if it's the Lina mid, it's pretty good against the Clinks just because you get the Eul Scepter and you can slow down the move speed. But that's the reason why, because Lina just doesn't do well against Tusk, for example, but Fada's going to be playing the Templar Assassin. I like that hero a lot. Like, Danish Bears would actually struggle to beat that hero.
It's Templar Assassin on Dire side as well, which is a natural advantage, taking early Roshan.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like, that's one of my favorite times to pick it, just because you're always going to get the Roshan advantage. But... it's also just because it's pretty easy to stack the Ancient Camp, and it's harder to get to that area. I like it. It's all around pretty good.
Okay.
10 seconds remaining.
What are we looking at game plan-wise? I feel like Danish Bears have to be a bit more aggressive. You've got a TA Gyrocopter plus Darkseer. I'll go into the late game. I usually feel like Clinks is more of a mid-game dominator than anything else.
Yeah. It's just one of those heroes that you want to... It's weird because it's not a true one position role, like you would think. It occupies a weird spot where you're almost like the 3 position where you're going around looking for space to your team, but at the same time, you're getting pretty aggressive overall. And you do need some measure of farm. The good thing about it, and the playstyle, the reason why it works is because you can just afford to go for Medallion and then Deso, and both those items are super cheap.
Right.
You can afford those at maybe 18 minutes in the game, and... you're still like one of the hardest hitting carries in the mid game. It's just you have to get to that point safely. Like, every single time we watch Clinks, it feels that hero just gets destroyed. Like, it gets caught out once or twice. You don't get any farm. You don't have a flash farm mechanic. That's the worst part, is you don't have a flash farm mechanic.
Right. Sort of offsets the early advantage that you have via... like, especially a lot of Clinkses tend to go into the enemy jungle, right? Using that death pack to take away their creeps and gank early. Something that Clinks is able to do better than probably most other heroes. But the offset is then you're overly dependent on death pact and you have no comeback mechanism because you have no flash farming. And you're probably not the hardest of late game carries, that's for sure. Doden's going to be caught here. Oh, he runs right into the block. Now the Light Strike Array will land. And Fada, well, he kind of gets stalled up there. He wants to go for the Bounty Rune, realizing that they didn't have enough damage on the Tusk.
He still had the Ice Shards, and he had Boots. I think they just assumed that they can go for it.
Yeah. I just assumed that Light Strike Array and Rocket Barrage would be enough to kill any hero when you're kind of melee range like that. But
you need it twice. He can get away. Yeah. As soon as you see the Boots, you're fine. Like, the stun duration on level 1 stun for Lina isn't actually very long. Like, it's only 1.6 seconds. And if you're running static, it's 315 move speed versus 355. Yeah, there's just no way you catch up. You run for 2 seconds, you throw the ice shards behind you, and you block off Matumba Man.
Right.
I do want to say, though, on a side note, Matumba Man, every single time I run into him in pub games, fantastic player. He's just one of those players that seems to really know how to win. And I know most people don't really count pub play for much, but I do kind of appreciate that in pub players.
I think people should start accounting a little bit more because, now we've seen that. I guess we'll have to see the outcome of it, but all the pub stars that are being picked up from all these different, like, Tier 1, Tier 1.5 teams, you know, like, pub stars are actually seeing a lot more value. Bottom lane, mind control. Do they have enough damage? It's looking like it with the body blocking here of the Dazzle. Really great play. Throws out the Shadow Wave for the extra bit of damage, and mind control knows he is done for. Gives up first blood to the Dazzle.
Yeah, a lot of it just depends on mentality, I guess. But that was a really good play by them at bottom. A little bit surprising that he decided to try to contest on the left side like that, because there's almost no chance he's going to survive. He does have level 2, so he must have just felt pretty comfortable with the surge, but he still has to be a little bit more careful. And this bottom lane is going to be rough. Like I said, Klink's one hit does about 40-50 of your hit, HP at a time. And that's considering he's got 6 armor and a stout shield. Yeah. He has to be really careful.
The mid lane matchup seems to be going quite well for Fada. I was watching the early harassment of the Dazzle, and Fada really wasn't phased too much. SF was missing CS, Fada was gaining it. So it seems to be going even better now for him, 10-3 compared to the 6-2 of the SF. But this is a little bit expected, right? TA should naturally out CS the SF a bit, at least in the first couple of levels. But then the SF gets level 5, he starts spamming down waves, and then he's got the Radiant side jungle as well to take advantage of.
Yeah, but TA should do really well in this matchup. Like, before things like the Bounty Rune existed and before Radiant side stacking was a huge thing, it was really TA favored, but nowadays it's pretty even-ish. But this is still a matchup that I think TA should win pretty handily. Right. Just because of how much damage you have and how much you have to work with. And what you should always consider in the mid lane is something that I just call kill potential. Like, whether or not you actually have a chance of killing them when you're level 6. And TA has a lot of it, whereas SF has almost none of it. Like, you would actually have to massively misplay to be able to grab a solo kill on the SF against the TA.
Yeah, and the trap stall has to be a good way for them to be able to keep tabs on the SF and the camps that he's going to be trying to farm up on the Radiant side as well.
Yeah, exactly. And Fada's actually doing a really good job of harassing, and he's opted to go for the meld at level 4, which probably tells me that he's going to try to go for the kill at 6. Yeah. Like, that's one of those indicators, if you're wondering. Because if you're just going to go play a passive style TA and go for the Roshan at 12 minutes, then you grab the 2 levels of the side blades. Right. Rather than the meld.
Especially ancient stacking, right? That's pretty important to have the extra level in side blades.
Yeah, this is a really aggressive build. Like, this build is not meant to be a passive laning phase whatsoever.
And I can't say I'm surprised at all. Fada, known for being a very aggressive mid laner, wants to be able to outskill his opposing force.
Yeah. I haven't seen Fada play TA in a while. Like, there was a time period where I was just used to watching him play like Beastmaster, Zeus. Heroes like that. Like the really passive farming ones. But I like that he's going back to playing that pub style mid where you want to try to get aggressive in somebody's face and go for the kill at around level 6 or 7.
Yeah, honestly, the period of time that I best remember Fada really standing out was the era of when him and like S4 would match up against each other and would be like these 2 crazy aggressive mids. Middle lane, they're going to go for Fada here. They do have the glimpse to be able to pull him back. Catch him in. Kinetic field as well. They're going to try and pop him. Shalgrave gets laid out just in case Shadow Fiend needs it. He will be stunned up. And they do manage to get the kill on the TA with no punishment from the Germans.
There's just too many heroes there for the TA to deal with. And TA usually, when you think about it, it doesn't feel like a ganking hero or a hero that you can gank very easily, but it's actually quite easy. Like when he only has, what is it, I think it's 5 instances of refraction, and you can time it out. Like as soon as he uses it, you just go on him. You can kind of burst him down pretty quickly. It's when he refreshes it twice that makes it really difficult for you to kill him, and that's the timing that you want to hit as a TA. Like whenever you enter a fight, you're going to pop the refraction early so that it recharges in the middle of the fight. But in that instance, they were just a little bit faster.
Kuro's going to head down to the off lane because Mind Control is spending all of his time in the jungle. And this is an advantage of a hero like TA mid, right? Many Oh, Jesus. What just happened? Matumba Man picks up the double kill in the top lane. Blitz, you got to give me the heads up.
Dude, I didn't even think that he was going to do that. Like, once that's a dual lane, it's pretty surprising that he's able to get that. But I guess it's a gyrocopter, and he's going to grab a TP pretty soon, and the clarity is going to be used by him as well. But probably the more important thing for me is what they plan on doing with him, like whether they plan on turning him into a true one position, especially with Fada getting ganked up.
Right. But
I presume that this Templar Assassin will just kind of play the passive stage again, because the SF has a Dazzle on his team, so it's going to be really quite difficult for the Templar Assassin to dive.
Oh, Rise. He was sitting on top of a trap, and Fada's going to be able to go for the kill. Another right click, but he doesn't get it in time. Glimpse back.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, he's going to have to return to his lane empty-handed here. Our Tusk is still level 2. He is just not having a very good time in this offlane. Hasn't been able to find much. The support's zoning him out quite effectively.
Yeah, we talked about it before. When you're playing offlane, it doesn't really matter if you haven't died very much. Like, he's only died once, and he actually died much later than Mind Control did. But look at the difference in their farm. Like, you've got a Darkseer that's about to hit level 7, and a Tusk that's struggling to hit level 3 right now. And yeah, it's a Darkseer that can just go to the jungle, but at some point you have to make something happen on the map, regardless of what lane you're against.
Right. Hexed up. They're going to go for another kill. They do have the cooldown as well. Doden in some serious trouble. Can snowball the save, but it's only going to draw some time. He goes for it now onto Jarex, but he knows he's dead. Shadow Wave goes out and does a little extra damage, but Matumba Man still able to pick up that killing spree.
He's on a... I mean, he's 3-0 with 44 CS at 7 minutes. Like, his GPM is actually going to be insane at this rate.
I'm really surprised he didn't try and gank up mid a little bit more. Tusk is one of the few heroes that can actually rotate outside of his offlane. So if he's been zoned out so much. Oh, Matumba Man. He's actually going to be kind of stuck here. He turns and fights as best he can. The supports. Oh, he managed to pick up the kill there. And that's because our Dazzle doesn't have Shallow Grave just yet. He's going to go for the Dazzle, try and lock him inside of the trees. Will be able to pick up that kill. And the Tusk is just sitting there going, I've got nothing left. I'm only level 3. Middle lane, though, heads to Joe in some trouble. Fada's going to be able to run him down as well. 2-6 now as the Germans just start running over the Danish.
That's so awkward. Like, he doesn't have Grave up. You know that Gyrocopter is a Gyrocopter. You got to play more defensively than that and not actually play that aggressively. The thing is, the Tusk is level 3, like you said. Like, what is he going to bring to the fight? He does 140 damage and then he can snowball and stun for a second. What does that actually add to that gank? And then you've got a Dazzle that doesn't have Grave, no levels of Poison Touch or anything like that. And you've got a hero that has 1 armor in the Disruptor. Like, he can easily have gone for the triple kill there if the Tusk decided to stay. He's so farmed right now, and he's got an incredible amount of levels. Like, there's actually no chance that they kill him.
Oh, heads to Joe? No, Fada's not going to go for it. He probably realizes that Danish Bears do have some backup behind that SF. Looks like Jarex and Kuro want to try and go for some sort of smoke gank, perhaps?
I think the play here is try to get aggressive on the other lanes. There's actually no way that you can... I don't know. You can't really go to that top lane anymore. Like, Ace is rotating in too, so maybe if they have like 3 heroes, they could do it, but...
Yeah, but they know Clicks is around here.
Yeah.
They saw him run right through that middle lane thanks to the counter ward. Now they're going to actually spot him out. Runs in, double stun. Kuro does not have the Laguna Blade, but they easily get the kill anyway. Ace runs into the enemy jungle, trying to scout something out. Jeez, Matumba Man just runs down the Tusk. Again, this is turning into a slaughter fest.
He just has to rotate out and do something else. Like, this just isn't working. He just keeps going top and dying to the Gyrocopter. And it's an off lane, and you're supposed to have a difficult lane, but at the same time, you can't just show up and give Matumba Man a deposit slip every time. He's like, here's 300 gold.
Yeah.
Because he's already farming, probably better than anybody on the map. Like, he has 58 CS. He's going to get this tower down quite low, and he's already 5-6.
They can't afford to lose their SF here. He goes up, runs into Kuro. Light Striker Ray will land. Jarex helps him out with some additional nukes, and the Laguna Blade to finish him off. Nope, they're not going to throw it. They realize the Dazzle's here, so quick retreat is their option. Jarex is actually going to be taking some damage. Perhaps Ace can close that gap and finish him off, but they do have to worry. Ice Shards, oh, it's not quite enough, and look what's happening from behind. Here comes the rest of the Germans. Fada's going to lead the way, going on to Heston Joe. They manage to pick up an Invis Rune. him. That will definitely help. Snowball goes on a Matumba Man. Managed to get out the call down, though. Slows down the Tusk with the help of the Ion Shell. Should easily get that kill. Jerix, though, gets run over the Ice Shards last second. Heads to Joe. TP away. No, the Dragon Slave catches him as well. And now the Dazzle desperately trying to play Ring Around the Rosie and TP out, but that'll be stopped by a vacuum. He will fall as well. A 1-for-3 exchange. And wow, they actually feel so confident about their position. They're going to go ahead and take out Roshan.
They've got enough damage for this. Like, he doesn't even need the Deso anymore because they just team wiped him like that. I think Hestejo made a mistake there when he decided to TP outside of that area because Kuro was in range to just nuke. And you've got a combination of just too much team fight, too much early game potential. You can't really look for pickoffs anymore either because you've lost so many fights in a row to the Matumba Man. Like, that sounds so ridiculous to say that you lost like 2 3v1s versus Matumba Man. You're not going to kill him at this phase of the game. Fada's probably too big too. Both of the supports are about to hit level 6 as a result of that Roshan take too. Like, Jerix is halfway there, so it's not even like any of them are under leveled or under farmed. And although the supports from Danish boys are doing a pretty good job of keeping up in levels. Like, the fact that Rise is almost 6 is a pretty big surprise right now to me. It's still kind of a rough position because your cores aren't getting anything. The Shadow Fiend has to have a mech probably within the next like 4 or 5 minutes for them to really stand a chance. And if you look at the Tusk, like, he's by far had the roughest game so far.
Oh, they're going to go for an additional one here. Hesta Joe slowed down by the trap. Matumba Man has a little bit of mana left. Vacuum back. Nicely played by Mind Control. Gets the additional kill. 3-13 now. Danish Bears losing control of this game completely.
Yeah, they can't protect anybody at this point anymore. Like, the Grave doesn't do anything for you when your team just gets run down by a team that has far superior mid-game presence right now. And I don't really know what the plan is for Danish boys.
Oh, that's an interesting pick-off. Ace just managed to get the Lina using that clip positioning. Bottom lane, though, they're going to catch out a Rise. Mind Control comes forward. They've got the Ion Shell. Rise does have his ultimate, but doesn't bother throwing it down. He knows he's not going to escape.
Yeah, there's zero chance that they get the kill. And Mind Control has his mech now, too, with Arcane Boots. Like, if they want, 5 boys can just go for... Are we casting 2 teams called... Oh, no, it's Danish Bears.
Danish Bears and the 5 boys.
And 5 boys. I was just about to say, are we casting 2 teams with the name boys in it? It's a Danish boys. Yeah, it's the same thing. They're all just boys playing Dota 2.
Not Bears playing Dota 2?
Bears can't play Dota 2, man. They don't have thumbs.
Good God, you're right.
Yeah, can you imagine how uncoordinated they'd be? It'd be like watching you play Dota, man.
Yeah, but it'd be terrifying at a LAN event.
It would be. You would not want to... You don't flame a bear.
Go ahead, shake hands.
Yeah. Make some Reddit comments about that bear. Alright, they're going to go for Fada at top.
Alright, let's see if they can get a kill.
This has to be a kill.
Toss him up in the air. Rise is coming. All full 5-man gang. Fada's just going, okay. And?
You might as well just pop the meld to force the dust.
Yeah.
That's some 90 gold value right there.
Tier 1 tower is going to go down in exchange for the bottom one.
It pays off. Think about it. That disruptor's poor. You can't afford that.
That's 1 ward.
Yeah, exactly. But they're actually, that was a really good play. Like, that's the core that they had to go for. Because the Templar Assassin is a hero they can kill pretty easily. The Gyrocopter, no way. And that's why I think Fada actually had to play a little bit careful there when everybody's off the map and he's the only core showing by himself. Like, you see the Darkseer and the Gyrocopter at bottom. Like, there's no way that you go for either of those.
Mid lane, what do we got here? Ace. The rest of his team is trailing him, but I think Kuro knows. I mean, they just did that 5-man gang top now. Most of them are missing. They're probably going to run right through the middle lane. Maybe on their way to Bada, where Matumba Man is currently trying to take the tier 2. I
think the rest of the 5 boys should just go down and meet him. There's no reason for them to have to split up or anything like that. Their 5-man potential is really strong, and it's not even like Danish Bears can go for the 5-man push at top, because everybody from 5 boys will just TP, and they should win that fight. Like, you're not even going to get this tower very low.
Fada. Meld right next to this tier 2 tower. He's waiting out his team to take the tower at the bottom lane and perhaps rotate. He's now going to jump in. 4 heads to Joe. TP start coming in. Snowball onto Fada. They're going to be able to blow him up. Nice vacuum wall. 3-man turns it around, and Fada starts going for the Tusk. Good Shellgrave saves him, but the SF is going to go down as a result. Looks like there's no disables to stop the other 2 TPs out.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't go for that top push. And especially can't go for it as the tower's dying at bottom. Like, you have to know that there's no way that 5 boys just decide, oh, well, this tower's, you know, we're just going to give it up. It's a full HP tower, and they have an Aegis with mid-game control and a mech on their Darkseer. Like, they take that fight every time. The only conceivable way I see that fight working out is if the Disruptor actually glimpses back the Darkseer, who TP'd in front of him at the tier 2, which I think was a bit of a mistake. But they weren't even able to capitalize on that. So you have to give up that tier 2 at bottom most likely, but then you just go and split up the map again. Like, be okay with what you did to the top tower and just split up again, because there's no way that you're going to win a fight at this phase of the game.
Okay. Twitch chat is flaming you right now.
Why?
National Geographic over there. Apparently bears do have thumbs.
Do
they just probably don't have opposable thumbs.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Probably just didn't know the word opposable.
Yeah, they don't have thumbs. They've got hand paws.
Hand paws.
Hand beans.
Well, that smoke's going to fail. Immediately running into Jerix. Jerix doesn't actually have enough mana for a Finger Death, nor the cooldown set. They're going to Laguna Blade Snowball up into that one. I'm not sure this is where they want to be, back down the cliff as they get vacuumed over. And now right into the death zone. Vada comes in, looking for Dota. Nice Ice Shards block. Looks like Hesta Joe's also going to be chased down. TP away by the Tusk. He waves goodbye. Hesta Joe, on the other hand, he's staying here to say hello until he falls to the grave here. Now they're going to go for... Oh, they found Ace, who will pick up the kill there. Can he actually get him, though? Blink Dagger in a second. Double trap, slowing him down. Turns around, goes for Curl. One more right click, but the Ghost Scepter comes in. And now Ace, who knew he was dead, just went all in for that kill, is going to fall as well. 6-20 now, 16.5 minutes in.
And this is just a position where you're no longer... You can't really go for the split push because there are a lot of Blink Daggers now on the side of 5Boys. You've got a Ghost Scepter on the Lina, so going for pickoffs is going to be really hard. And the Templar Assassin is just getting massive. And it's not even really considering what Matuma Man has at this phase of the game. He doesn't even have to really get a BKB early just because of how the early game has gone for his team. The move right now to make is probably play for objectives, like go 5-man, try to take a tower as a result of that. Because if you just walk around the map, you're probably going to get picked off. I'm not even really sure what the optimal play is here anymore. Like when you're behind by this much at this phase.
They're currently behind by 10,000 gold to over 10,000 experience.
Push out the wave, then go for some sort of offbeat smoke into your own jungle.
Yeah.
Try to pick somebody off. I think that's actually the play.
Vada, I'm presuming he's going to go for a Desolator here.
Oh, Ace. If you just check down, you'll find the Gyrocopter. He's so low.
And he actually doesn't have enough mana to, like, turn things... Well, actually, he's got Magic Wand.
Yeah, but Ace has a lot of damage. Like, he has his Death completed. He's not that underfarmed, considering the situation his team's in.
He's just shy of the Darkseer's net worth right now. He's going to go hunt down Vada, who still has plenty of refraction charges.
Is this even possible? I don't actually think it
certainly
is.
not without countervision.
His thing's actually going to end too.
Vada would just have to, like, drop his mouse and keyboard for 10 seconds.
That's very true. But we've seen weirder things happen in Dota 2.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching 5 Bears play Dota right now. Alright, you've got a Blink Dagger completed on the Darkseer, and now they're just running through this area.
Tusk, Snowball to try and deal with this one. Vacuum over, and the wall's going to be able to finish him off. And now, well, the Static Storm doesn't mean much. Beyond Godlike from Matuma Man as he finishes them both out with a call down. Farther up, Ace, well, he's still playing that patient game of watching Vada farm.
Yeah, and they also get another kill. Like, they just get 3 kills in a row right there. It's way too difficult for the Bears to be able to fight. This should mean they're mid-tower too. If you're game planning right now, I guess the best move to make is just try to isolate one of the cores that don't have BKB up. And Ace is just trying to create whatever space he can as it clinks. Because he's really the only person on his team that can afford to leave the base at this point.
Right.
And he's probably going to even maybe take this top tower. Like, they've got Glyph up, but you have to devote a TP right now, which they do.
Darkseer will stay ahead of that one. And he did manage to slow down the Blink Dagger of Jerix. Another 3 minutes until he can get that back. Next round's going to be coming up in 45 seconds here, so I'm sure the boys are waiting that one out before they try and push down. Well, there's actually only one remaining tier 2, so I suppose this Aegis can actually allow them to go uphill.
You probably can with your lineup. You've got a Deso completed on the TA2, and you know for a fact that the enemy lineup just can't fight you. Like, it's been demonstrated time and time again.
Yeah,
and it's not like
Graves
it gets
as well.
easier. Yeah, but high ground is probably their best chance, if you ask me. Like, if they can't defend the first Rex, then the game's probably just over.
Right.
And even in this phase, things get risky. Like, I kind of almost think I don't know, they can't even fight out Roshan because of the Darks here. Like, the potential to just get destroyed by the vacuum is readily there.
Right.
Probably just have to defend the high ground and hope for the best. Roshan's about to spawn.
BKB up next for Ace. I don't even know why I look at the Tusk. Actually, he's got 2,000 gold, so he can have a Blink Dagger soon.
This is one of the more rough games I've seen for an offlane Tusk.
Yeah. Is Blink Dagger that valuable, or would there be more value in trying to go for the Solar Crest?
I think the Solar Crest would be okay, but your Clinks is pretty close to one if he wants one. I guess the Clinks is going to go for the BKB first.
Yeah, he's got to get a BKB, right?
But if you're the Tusk, I don't know, Blink's not bad. The Solar Crest is kind of inefficient at this point, because you're never going to complete it. And a Medallion is kind of pointless to your team right now.
Mind control. Oh, the snowball is not going to make it. Maybe an Ice Shards will. Ace doesn't even try.
He's just way too tanky.
Yeah.
Is that Guardian Greaves on him? Yeah.
Yep.
It's about to be up 2 in 2 seconds.
All 3 of the cores are sitting at above 10k net worth. Our poor Clink's only at 8,400. How's SF doing? He's trying to work towards a BKB after his mech, but the mech doesn't really mean much anymore.
I mean, it helps the rest of your team not get one shot.
Instead, they get 2 shot.
It can make a difference. Like, I mean, you're laughing at it, but it was still probably the item to get. At that point, it's one of those lose-lose scenarios. You get it, it doesn't do much for you. You don't get it, you die in 3 shots anyways. Like, going for a straight BKB would not be the answer here. Not when Gyrocopter and TA are this farmed. You would just get popped immediately.
What about a more late game build, like the SNY instead of mech?
SNY is
into
still pretty...
BKB.
It's still kind of useless when the TA can just chase you down and kill you in a team fight. And it's not even better late game than going for a BKB. Just because you're not going to be able to get anything off when there's a line involved in the game.
Oh, the control on Matumba, man. They've actually got to be able to lock him down. He has no BKB.
That's huge.
So
and it goes on Ace. That's almost a BKB. You just got showered in money. 999 gold.
The rest of the support's all picking up a cool 350, 400.
2,100 gold net worth swing just for getting the Gyrocopter. It's more than that too, because he lost money, right? So like 2,600 gold the other way for 1 death. He's really got to be careful about that.
Still though, he's got Fada pushing in that tier 2 tower. And doesn't look like the Danish Bears are going to get anything in return. They're pushing out the bottom lane, but the tier 1's already down. I highly doubt they're going to push all the way to the tier 2.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They can just continue to go. Like, there's no reason for them to have to really have a moment for pause. Like, the Templar Assassin has 4,300 gold built up and hasn't even bought anything.
There's the BKB for the Gyrocopter. And they still have that Aegis for a good amount of time.
He's actually got less farm than I thought he would at this point, considering the TA has actually overtaken him in net worth. And the Darkseer's not even that far behind either. When you look at the type of start that the Gyrocopter had, you would have expected him to be a lot more farm than this. But I guess they have really greedy cores.
Yeah. They've got supports trying to farm up the map as well. All right, there's the BKB for the SF. BKB very soon for Ace, just trying to pick it up before the dire push uphill. But if he goes for it, they're going to have no buyback. It's probably worth it, though.
When you're behind like this, I think when you're behind more than like 15, 20k, you just buy your items and hope that you can win that fight on the high ground.
All right, tier 3 tower going to start being chipped away by Fada. No Ogre Frost Mage. Glimpse back, nothing they can do with that. They need to start being aggressive. They're going to go for Matumba Man now. The snowball goes out, but it's a bit too late. They get the Walrus punch up. Finger of Death is a return. Matumba Man actually goes down to Ace. Fada now looking to be able to hit him. Jerix, one more hit, but Ace has actually got to get out of here. They see him. Shellgrave's actually going to be able to make sure he stays alive. Static Storm placed on Kuro, and they're trying to lock him down, but Hesta Joe under the assault of Fada's right clicks will be going down. Same goes to Arise as Fada chases him deep into the tier 3 tower, and now jumping for the Dazzle as well. He is not stopping. This Fada is a freight train at this point in time. Oh, turning now. He has his Aegis, so willing to pop it to see if he can win this fight for his team.
Yeah, he's just creating space right now because he knows the Aegis isn't long for this world either. It's better to just kind of get in the face of the enemy team, maybe pop a few spells, get them to get over aggressive. The Weave is starting to tick down, but that wasn't even that terribly fought by Danish Bears. They were able to kill the Gyrocopter before he had his BKB, which I think was the correct play. But it just was the farm.
Kuro, Ghost Scepter to dodge. Now the vacuum back. Tuskar disappears, and now Yule Scepter onto Ace as well. Light Strike Ray locking him down. Fada's going to be able to get him, as well as that range Rex. They turn. They're actually going to look for more here. Fada's going to try and end the game right now. He goes for the next tier 3. Ace does have a buyback.
I don't know if he wants to force it. This probably isn't bad. This tower shouldn't die, or it would be a little bit surprising.
I mean, they're still full 5.
Oh, I guess the Gyrocopter's back now.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, vacuum in. Oh, nice Impale combination. Hesta Joe. Oh, Shallowgrave actually saves him. They even threw out the Laguna Blade. Hesta Joe will get back to the fountain.
That's still a BKB pop, though.
Yeah, and Ace, he's going for the neutral.
He's trying to eat a creep to come back into the fight, but
yeah.
You take whatever you can get at this point if you're Ace. Like, you need whatever advantages you can grab.
Ice shards. All right, Ace is looking for it, but they do have... where's their counter vision? They've got it somewhere, right? They don't have a gem or anything.
Yeah, this tower is 100% going down.
So they look for the rain tracks. Ace takes out that courier, looks for more, but jeez, he just gets surrounded instantly. He got the kill on the light. Now the vacuum, 3-man vacuum. Snowball save, or is it really going to be safe? Runs forward, still inside that kinetic field. Mind control is trapped, but the rest of his team is backing him up. Doesn't look like they'll have the damage. Vana jumps forward. Now going for the Dazzle as well as the Tusk. Picks up the poor Disruptor as well. This is just a massacre.
That's a Yule's kill from Kuro. Just lifts him in the air and walks away.
9-33. All that's left is Ace, and he is going to promptly get 4-shot by Fada. GG is the call from the Danish Bears. Game number 1 easily being taken by the 5 boys.
Their offlane just went way too poorly.
Yeah.
Like, they had some good maneuvers where, like, when they killed the Gyrocopter at bottom and they got a boatload of money, the opportunity in the mid lane where they actually hit a really nice gank on Fada, but that top lane was just way too disastrous. Like, the Tusk died 4 or 5 times. When the 3 of them were up there, they also died to the Gyrocopter alone. Like, things like that can't happen. Otherwise, it alleviates so much of the pressure on the map.